Did Johnny May ever tell you anything about Mel?
No, she said, what year were you born?
48. December, almost 49. December 29.
You never tell us anything about
Yeah, I was born in St. Augustine.
Okay. You never tell us
I
anything
told her, I already
about
called her. I said, I'm
you. I know she was sick and in the
I said, I'm
hospital
gonna have my cousin
between
call you.
51 and 53, I believe. She was in the hospital. But that what you made
No,
for
she was down this way.
the other girl. When was she born?
No.
Nene Travis, what year was your mother born? They're asking. 52.
And then she had another one, must have been in 51. When were you born? Were you born in 48? Yeah.
47.
So she had, the other one was born in 51.
Where were you born at?
I was born up in, I'm not sure, but right outside of Camilla, Georgia.
Camilla, Georgia?
Back in the 30s.
Okay, okay.
But I know she was in the hospital and she was real sick. And that was either between 51 and 52. Probably 52 or 53.
Yes, and she between that time she had 2 more children.
But you didn't know why she was in the hospital.
If I like it, I'm gonna ask.
Well, they don't tell you too much. I know one time she wanted to have an operation for her heart,
Yes.
but she'd have to get permission. And she didn't, because the doctor didn't want to do it, so she never did get them permission to do
Those are
that.
cute shoes, though.
But she didn't say. Now, when I called over there, though, they did tell me she might have been pregnant.
Well, I took the DNA, and then Travoy, which is one of my sister's son, he called me and said that it showed up. And then under him, somebody else showed up, Candice. And so she called him and told us that we may be related to the Everett family. And that's how it got going.
I found out about my grandmother through actually Aunt Romel. I knew about her through my Aunt Romel, but Candy is the one that told me about my grandmother until I found out about her through Aunt Romel. Aunt Romel and Candy is the one was the link to put all this together. Candy is the one that say, look here, I know who your folks is. She said, let me talk to them first before I find out. You know, so before I put the information out there, she said, let me talk to them first before, say it's okay for me to tell you everything out. And she put me in touch with Aunt Marty.
Mommy said that had her grandmother known that her daughter had 3 other children after you, as poor as she would have said, I don't care where they are. If they mine, you bring them home to me. I'll take them. She had raised all her other grandchildren. What would 3 more have been to her? She, as old as she was old when she was raising them. She would have still raised those other 3 girls. Why Johnny May didn't bring those last 3 home, nobody knows. We will never know. But it sounds like your mom and her sisters and Aunt Ramel had a wonderful life. She was very selective in the families that she chose for them. So that was a blessing, because all I've ever heard, and we've heard these same stories over and over, is how poor they were and how they had to go, and people would give them food. They didn't have welfare. Aunt Kate would send them $5, $10 a week. And they were waiting on that check, to be able to buy food and eat.
It was a process. So after the DNA test was taken, and Candy, who lives in Detroit, who is actually a relative. She's a cousin. She's a second cousin. She was able to tell us who we were related to. We initially thought she was an aunt, but from there we found out that she was actually a cousin. And so she was able to connect the dots. The first person she put my brother in touch with was our Aunt Marthine, and Marthine was truly a saint. She came into the picture like a warrior. Like when she came in, she started asking questions. She was like, well, wait a minute, who is your mama's daddy? And who are you? And she spoke to Aunt Romel, and at that time she said to Aunt Romel, she said, well, if I'm your sister, wait a minute, what's your Facebook? I need to see your Facebook account. She went on to Facebook, and I'm guessing from her response, because she was a little apprehensive, which she should have been, right? You just get a call after 70-something years that you got a relative, and she goes on to Facebook, and I guess whatever she saw, it confirmed that there was a relationship, that they were actually family.
Marty called me because we used to talk every day. Marty called me up and told me this, and I said, Marty, you got to be jiving. She said, yeah. She said, Candy called me up and told me that we got other brothers and sisters, other sisters around that we didn't even know. And I said, oh, wow. So I called Candy, and Candy told me it was the truth. And then not only that, but Candy had went all into our other family DNA, and she found out that our great-grandfather was a soldier in the Civil War. Now, my grandmother's father,
He wanna,
the one that you said gave him that land and everything, was he ever in the military?
What, John Martin?
I'm good at it right now.
She never did tell us anything about his background. The only thing, she just said she knew that his father was either his father or his grandfather was white. So she said that. And she said he was sort of accommodating, that's the word we use now. But the way she described it, that's what it is. He would grow good things on the part where he lived, and people would come there, and if they see what they want, they get it. He wasn't saying he wouldn't try to stop them, you know. And he got along with the other whites there, but I think it was mainly because his father was, he was connected with the white people in that way.
Who was these two siblings that you met today?
Sonny and Bruce.
And how long have you been knowing Sonny and Bruce?
Well, I just met Bruce today. Sonny I've talked to on the phone, I guess for 6 months or more.
And what did you think when you met Bruce and Sonny?
I was elated. I was happy to know that I had siblings.
That's your boy. That's Dwayne. That's Casey.
Sorry, you gotta make it real hard. Real hard. You gotta make it fat, real large.
I know, but what I'm saying, you said, oh yeah, but you said when you looked at her, they
My
didn't,
cousin
the white
Albert, he
lady
was
told you
like,
she could
the
have been
last time I
pregnant,
was
right?
party, he was like, Casey, in the military.
Something like that,
I don't
she
want to treat you like
said.
this. You know, he's talking all this.
But I called over to the hospital.
We got that
Somebody else took her to the hospital. I just came home one day and she was in the hospital.
What you got,
Good brother. What I got here is this is some damn good spare ribs. You know what I'm saying? There you go. There you go. Take a good look. You can't get that at your local market, your farmer's market. You know what I'm saying? Holler at you, you'll only get it here.
I hope you had some time to spend with Uncle Bruce today, because he really is the one that holds so much
Amen. Yes.
of the nuggets. I don't know if his memory's going a little, I don't know, but he really was able to fill in a lot of gaps for Mommy and stuff years later after she had left. And even now, he went back and asked Mommy, did she remember? Mommy went back and asked him, did she remember Johnny Mee ever being pregnant after Uncle Sonny? And he said, well, you know, when I think about it, I do remember her coming home one time and she did look pregnant, and then he didn't see her pregnant anymore. He just thought, you know. But I mean, it's little things like that you don't think, you have to tap into him to kind of pull out, to trigger that type of information.
Listen, man, I want to thank from the bottom of my heart Jeff and Stephanie. They are the one that invited us to come here to have this wonderful family reunion. And like I tell Jeff and Stephanie, you know, even if I had $1 million, I could never pay them back for what happened here this evening. This is one of the best of my life, besides being married to my lovely wife over there. But this is it. And I just want to tell you, like, Jeff and Stephanie, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You didn't have to do this.
We love you.
This was something that you guys wanted to do, and I'll never forget you for it.